Let's jump right into it. Today, in this explainer, we're talking about a massive, fundamental shift happening right now in the world of technology. Now, for the past few years, artificial intelligence has basically been like a super smart encyclopedia, right? You ask a chatbot a question, and it gives you an answer. But we are officially moving past basic chatbots. We're entering the era of autonomous digital workers known as AI agents. To put this in perspective, imagine you run a lemonade stand. In the past, AI was like a smart recipe book, telling you how to make the lemonade. But an AI agent? That's like hiring a robot that actually squeezes the lemons, orders more cups when you run low, counts the money, and talks to the customers. Literally, all by itself. That is exactly what an AI agent is starting to do for businesses. So today, we're going to unpack the real math, the hard economics, and the actual, frankly terrifying legal risks behind all of this hype.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. 1. Tools to digital workers. 2. The new unit economics. 3. The autonomous software market. 4. Legal risks and fictitious identities. And 5. The responsible AI transition. Let's get started.
Section 1. Tools to digital workers, the end of SaaS as we know it. To really understand where we're going, we have to look at where we've been. In the past, traditional software basically just provided a tool. Think of it like a paintbrush. Now, a paintbrush is great, but it still requires a human hand to actually paint the picture, right? Traditional software required a human sitting in a dashboard, clicking a bunch of buttons and interpreting the data. But this new micro-agent model, it's entirely different. An agent doesn't provide a tool, it provides an outcome. It is the painter. It executes workflows autonomously with what the industry calls a zero UI. And don't let that term confuse you. Zero UI just means there are no screens, there are no buttons, and no keyboards. The software just does the work in the dark and hands you the finished result. Section 2. The new unit economics, beyond the salary myth. Now, when businesses think about replacing a specific task with AI, they almost always compare the cost of the AI software to a worker's base salary. But honestly, that is just bad math. If you run a local Kiwi business, you already know that an employee costs so much more than just their hourly wage. You have to calculate the fully loaded human cost. We're talking about taxes, KiwiSaver pension contributions, holiday pay, training, and even the physical desk space that person uses. According to the data, all of this creates a massive multiplier. The true cost of human labor is actually 1.3 to 1.7 times their base salary. It's wild when you look at the math on a task-by-task level. AI decisively wins on volume and repetition, while humans still completely dominate when it comes to complex judgment. Take document processing, for example. An AI agent can do it for literal pennies. We're talking 1 to 10 pence, compared to 5 to 20 pounds for a human. It's a very similar story for invoice processing. However, look at strategic advisory. When it comes to planning the future of a business or building deep, meaningful trust with clients, AI contributes minimally. Human workers, who might cost 150 to 500 pounds an hour, are vastly superior here. Humans are still the undisputed champions of novel problem solving and trust. So, how does a business actually know when it makes financial sense to switch a task over to an AI agent? Well, there's a really simple break-even volume formula we can use, and we'll apply it to invoice processing. Step 1, you identify your fixed AI costs. Let's say that's £300 a month for the software subscription. Step 2, you take the human cost per invoice, say £5, and subtract the tiny AI variable cost, which is about 5 pence. Step 3, you just divide the fixed cost by that difference, and the magic number here is 61. This shows you exactly where the true cost crossover point lies. Think about it. If a local cafe is processing maybe 20 invoices a month, they are actually better off just having a human do it because of those AI setup costs. But the second they process 61 or more, the AI becomes a massive money saver. Section 3. The autonomous software market, the agentic stack. Because these AI agents are laser-focused on just getting a specific job done without needing a screen, they operate on what's called the agentic stack. These micro-agents are highly specialized. For instance, one might solely focus on negotiating shipping rates for physical products. But here is the totally wild part. They don't have websites. You don't log into them. Instead, they use capability discovery networks. Think of these networks like a giant digital community notice board. Agents post what they can do, they find each other, and they essentially shake hands digitally. They establish API connections automatically, all without a human clicking a single button. Your shipping agent might automatically find and hire a forecasting agent to predict next month's sales, entirely on its own. And just like a local company has a boss and frontline staff, AI is forming its own invisible workforce. You have big picture manager bots that plan things out, and little task worker bots that actually execute the small jobs. They're organizing into a layered society of executors and supervisors, seamlessly integrating into our own human economic structures. They're becoming deeply, deeply woven into how our world operates. Section 4. Legal risks and fictitious identities. Now let's pivot to the dark side, because there are some truly terrifying legal gray areas when you let autonomous software loose in the open market. Let me ask you a fundamental question. If an autonomous agent negotiates a contract, who is legally responsible? Imagine waking up to 10,000 bags of coffee beans blocking the door to your cafe because your robot misunderstood a digital contract. Who pays for that? Is it you? Is it the person who programmed the AI? Is it the AI itself? This completely exposes the unresolved liability framework surrounding these workflows. When a regular chatbot hallucinates, you just get a weird wrong sentence. But when an autonomous agent makes an error, it takes a wrong action, and that has real-world, heavy financial consequences. And this gets even scarier when AI starts creating fake identities. Take this real-world story from Hong Kong in early 2024. A finance worker actually transferred $25 million to criminals after a video call with his company's chief executive officer and several other colleagues. But here's the catch. None of them were real. They were all deep-faked, AI-generated fabrications that looked and sounded exactly like his boss. That is an AI-fabricated legal identity in action. So where does the law actually stand on this? Well, it all comes down to human intent. Because a robot doesn't have a brain, it doesn't have a heart, and it certainly doesn't have free will, it cannot legally promise anything. Any contract it signs on its own is basically worthless. Machine-generated contracts made without explicit human authorization are fundamentally void. But hey, as we just saw in that Hong Kong case, even if a contract is legally void, the money might already be gone. Section 5. The responsible AI transition, governance, and accountability. Finally, how do organizations actually navigate this massive economic upside without falling straight into a liability trap? Deloitte outlines a really practical framework for this called the trait autonomy levels. Think of this like putting training wheels on a bicycle. Businesses absolutely shouldn't just turn everything on at once. You start at level 1, where the AI just assists and maybe drafts things. Then you move to level 2, where it prepares an action, but a human still has to manually click approve. You slowly move up to level 3 and 4, setting strict limits and reviewing exceptions. Only when a system is highly tested and trusted do you ever reach level 5, which is fully autonomous but with a constant, rigorous audit trail. This builds human-in-the-loop governance so businesses can safely experiment without risking their entire reputation. And taking this careful, measured approach pays off. Deloitte estimates the agentic AI market could hit $45 billion by 2030. But they are very quick to note that this high projection is only possible for businesses that successfully manage these wild networks of bots talking to other bots. If businesses just rush in recklessly, projects will fail, liabilities will skyrocket, and this massive market growth will completely stall out. I want to leave you with this provocative thought from Morgan Stanley. They said if that gap does not close and AI remains a cost center rather than a revenue generator for the broader economy, the capital cycle turns. In plain English, if these robots just cost billions to run and don't actually help businesses earn more money efficiently, investors will pull their funding and the whole trend collapses. The technology is already here, but will we effectively govern this transition? Or will a reckless rush to automate result in a total collapse of consumer trust? The choice is entirely up to the humans who set the rules. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes on how these digital workers continue to reshape our world.